What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. As y'all know, it's right down there and it's free. And that enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible, with as many icons as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like, share, promote us, teach all your friends about us. We keep coming to you. Now today, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by an icon in the game, Miss Suga-T. Thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me. Hey.
Yeah, so Suga-T's got a lot going on now. We're going to get to that in a minute. And of course, her legacy and contributions to the game are basically endless. So we're going to get through a lot of that stuff today and looking forward to that. So one thing with you, Suga-T, and the clique and everything that I always thought was interesting was the Grambling, Louisiana connection or move and stuff. So how much of that were you a part of, and how much did that affect what you were doing directly and indirectly?
Effects? Like what you mean? Like what
How you
type of
got,
experience that I had there or
yeah, how it might have affected how you approached writing, or just getting a different experience than just staying in Vallejo the whole time.
sure. So I didn't go to school to Gremlin. My college experience wasn't in Gremlin. My brother and my cousin B Legit went for 1 year. Then they came back. I went to college and accumulated a couple of AAs, a bachelor's, and a couple of master's degrees. But I went to different schools in California. So
Did you ever go to Grambling to visit or not?
I had a great experience in Grambling for visiting, for doing concerts, and then we have family that's there. So, being connected from that aspect, it was very helpful. Just going to a different place, and the fact that it was family that helped push our presence there, and the fact that my brothers them kind of led the way by bringing a presence out there. Being from California, making popularity. I believe that they created the Almadon for the school at one point, and that kind of brought them to a different popularity. So they opened the waves for us, for us to get in there and move around a little bit, and it's a great experience to be loved and known, and to understand the culture, being in that area.
And how different was it from Vallejo going down to Louisiana at the time for you?
It really wasn't a big difference. It was a lot more. It was like, dang, these people is hood out here. Like, whoa. I'm thinking that I went to a different place, and it was like, you think it's gonna be cows and horses and the chickens and the environment of what is considered country. But shoot, it was the dirty South, the dirty, and it was real out there. It was hood. It was a variety of. Matter of fact, I remember when we went out there one time, part of our tour, the place got shot up. It was, there was a shooting there for. I think they shot at the building for probably about. They were in front, and I think the police was actually scared to come. So we was there, but like I think they shot for at least a good 20 minutes, and coming from that environment and then coming there into that environment. I'm like, okay, so I guess the music business is definitely no different, than a street experience that we just left. So, but it was good eating, good people, good in country. My family's there from California. They're good in country, and so it kind of felt like home at the end of the day.
Okay. Well, as far as the music, obviously an early breakthrough was the Captain Save A Hoe, of course, which are on. But I wanted to get from you, given the context of the song, what was kind of the thoughts of you being on the chorus and doing a verse and different things, given what the song talks about? How did that work out for you?
Well, as a producer of that song and of that project, it was a great opportunity. It was made off of natural instinct. And natural instinct was, you know what, we see all these dudes saving my sister. They always after my sister, they're trying to save her, so they made a joke out of it, and that's where it started from. It's from it being a joke, and then my brother, my brother D Shot, I believe he was the one who kind of urged on the hook, and then Be Legit came and added a different flavor, and 40 came through and put a stamp on it, and together we created gumbo like we do when we come together. So it was based off a real experience. We had a unique comedy with it using the Superman, Captain Save A Hoe Cape brand with Kevin Dixon, and he was the captain. And it was exciting and unique to see the whole thing come together and then become a hit song, um, to go platinum. We were ghetto gold first. We went gold before we even got on the radio. It was a hit that was actually circulating on the underground without any radio play. And it just pushed around the world, and we called ghetto gold. We went ghetto gold without any of it because they really enjoyed it. And then eventually, it went platinum, and it got to reach a wider perspective of audience. And to
It
this day,
definitely
we love it.
it definitely got out there. And the thing around that with the Down and Dirty project, the Mailman project, and then It's All Good project, there was so much movement so early. So what made you and what made the clique in general so prolific right out the gate?
Right. Well, we actually started with an MVP project. And the MVP project was a most vicious performance. That was our first. And each of us kind of had our own segment of what was strong for us. So we used our strengths and put them together. And so the most vicious performances started off with a family of a variety of as a group made of a family made of a variety of groups that were all on the same page exploring, and then we came together, and eventually we split off into groups, and then eventually we founded the clique. So and worked on each other's projects in between time. So just starting off with those, that automatically just kind of set, I guess you would say, it set the bar, for what we had to bring following that, the other many solo individual projects and group projects. So I think the uniqueness of just everybody bringing their own strength into it was really powerful.
Okay. And then the thing that I always appreciate, especially when we get to It's All Good with like Billy Badass and different songs you had on there, was the weaving in the social commentary into the storytelling, even though it was, you know, so what as a person made you want to do that with your own material?
Well, it was just, first of all, Billy Badass. I was really, how would I say this? I was exploring my talent still. My I listened to the album, and I can't even hardly stand to hear it, to be honest with you. So be like, oh my God, I was drunk. It was all fun for me for the first album. I'm just gonna be real with you. I just was having a ball because I was a mom then. I had two kids at 17, and I was like, woo, I can get out of here and go away from my kids, and get me some fun. I was still young and a teenage, wild woman. And at the end of the day, having far more responsibilities than, the lady my age, so that was fun to me. But definitely being a part of understanding violence and how it affects people and how it affected me when I got shot, and affected others in our neighborhoods, and just the whole perspective of violence. It made me sick to my stomach, and I felt like Billy Badass would be a good conversation to have, especially when talking about the consciousness of the African American community. So, so yeah, it was a part of my experience, and again, it was a conscious moment even throughout that whole album, Billy Badass, before I did Paper Chasing and any of the other ones. That Billy Badass, that particular album, It's All Good, was the beginning of my trying to figure out who I was going to be as a rapper. You know what I mean? And so that was just one part of me that stood out at that time, and that I wasn't afraid to showcase and thought it was necessary.
Right.
Hmm.
So since a lot of people did if they did get pregnant early, they kind of quote unquote derailed their dreams, or they gave up and just focused on their children or whatever. What made you able to focus on multiple things at the same time and become such a successful artist at the same time?
Well, at the time I had support. My mom was my babysitter, and I felt content and had the comfort of knowing that they were safe, and I was excited about having fun. And so, but my mama was also the type like, okay, boo, you off the airplane? Here go your baby. All right, come get him. You ain't home yet? Well, Shot just told me that you just got off the plane. I'm like, dang, I gotta go home now. So, you live a life of being a variety. Yeah, I think it's great for people to see my world. They will get an opportunity to see a little bit more of it eventually. So being able to multitask and like I said, the motivation of just hanging out and having fun was the original place, and doing something unique with my brothers. So, we played sports together. We, cheerleaded for them together. We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly together at that time. So it was another place where we can all come together and go and do something fun as a family. So that allowed me to do it, the support of my family and my brother not putting a whole bunch of pressure on me. He didn't drive me like like many labels do today. He didn't drive me like a machine, so he gave me a little flexibility. And he respected me and my time and what I was going through, as a mother, and with that flexibility that was needed to be one. And I slowed down, when my kids got almost teenagers. They were like, 8 or 10 years old. After a good long run, a long run of music, a good 16 years, 1984 to 1990 that I put into it. 2000, I got a little conscious about, at that time they were 10. So the oldest one was 10. So I said, I better slow down a little bit and make sure I don't miss out on this great time to really be here close to my children. I think I really took some time to really figure this out in 1997 or 8. I started feeling a little uncomfortable about leaving them. So I was like, I miss my babies, and of course, we just really did weekends most of the time. We didn't do long months and months on the road and all that kind of stuff. We would do a week or two here and there, weekends, Friday through Sunday, that kind of thing. So it gave me a chance to still have time with my children. And eventually, as they got older, I put some things around me so I could slow down, and I felt that it was a need to do that. So, so with traveling, with success, came a lot of sacrifice, to be honest with you. So the sacrifice of, building other things, and, if you slow down, then eventually, you've got to be put on a shelf somewhere to sit down, and they deal with you when they want to deal with you. You know what I mean? And so, so I had to create other avenues, for myself to survive and sustain. And then, of course, the change came. There was this big surge of all of a sudden somebody figured it out. They said, wow, these girls are too strong by themselves. We got to figure out how to put a stamp on them and block them and make them depend on us.
Well,
okay. Whew. So that's a whole nother, conversation.
Be sure to check out the history of gangster rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.